played all the way through Pokemon Platinum. I started the playthrough when the game came out, and then I started another one around the time I was beating all the other Pokemon games. The second playthrough was harder than I thought it would be, and it kind of got boring. So I quit. And now I'd like to start from the beginning. But if I go to my Platinum file here, you can see that I've actually gotten a lot further along than I thought I did, because not only do I have this, but also I have somewhat of a team. Because as far as I remember, I only had Primplup and Mischievous. But look what's over here! I think this might be the one that I just beat the game with again for lulz, and then take it all the way up to Gen 9 and scare the crap out of people when I send out a Garchomp called Cynthia, the Sinnoh champion. Before I reset the save file, I would like to trade over 4 of the Pokemon I have in my game. The only problem is there are about 2 in Pearl that I really am okay with getting rid of. Which means I have to catch some more, and to do that, I need Quick Balls, which I actually had to look up where to get them. But once I did, I made my way over there, got a few, and then caught a couple of random Pokemon. After that, I made my way to the nearest Pokemon Center in both games, and went into the trading lounge since I couldn't remember whether I needed the Pokemon in my party or not, which I had to do multiple times because the first time I couldn't figure out why the other character from the other game wouldn't show up. Turns out I had forgotten that I had turned off the wireless communications on my 3DS so I wouldn't get that stupid update that Nintendo pushed through for the sole purpose of preventing the theft of games that aren't even for sale anyway. And in order to turn communications back on, I had to exit out of Pearl and go back to the home screen. This is why everything takes 5 times longer than it needs to. So I restarted the game, went back into the lounge, and started up the trade only to find out that yes, I do need to have the Pokemon I want to trade in my party. So I went back to the PC and swapped out the Pokemon in my party for the Pokemon I intended to trade over. Then I went back to the lounge, and wouldn't you know it, this time I was actually able to start the trade. They're not kidding when they say 3rd time's the charm. The trade itself went off without a problem, and so now all of the Pokemon that I cared about in my Platinum are now in my Pearl. And I might just see if I can't bring them all the way up, just because, well, I can. That's really low on the list of my priorities, however, and so it probably won't happen for quite a while. But at least now I can restart Platinum without losing a female starter, which I won't be doing right away because, as I'm recording this, Mercury is currently in retrograde. And while this could count as revisiting an old project, I'm just not willing to risk it. Back in August, I transferred a few Pokemon from Platinum over to Pearl, with the intention of possibly transferring them all the way up to Pokemon Home. Really hope I don't have to pay too much to be able to do that. And if you recall, I said that it wasn't really too high on my priority list. However, since then, Nintendo has come out with the news that around next April they're gonna shut off Wi-Fi capability for the 3DS. And while Pokemon Bank will still be operational, we really don't know how long it will be until that shuts down, which is a whole nother rant entirely. But I figured I better get started with that process, because it's gonna take a while. So I grabbed my 3DS with Pokemon Pearl and booted it up. As you can see here, it's been a while since I've done this. We're just gonna leave this here. So the whole point of this is to get a 4th gen Garchomp on the Switch that has one of these, the Sinnoh Champion ribbon. So that when I actually have a friend group to do free-for-alls with, I can send out Cynthia the Sinnoh Champion and terrify my opponents and flex at the same time. In order to do that, however, I need to...
Hydropop was a direct hit!
Oh boy, this is not going to be easy. But I did it once and I can do it again. I just have to grind. Because there's absolutely no way that I am doing a Sinnoh League run with 5 Pokemon. The good news is that I don't have to spend countless hours going back and forth fighting some weak Pokemon on Route 20 whatever it is. Because I never played the postgame of Pokemon Pearl. I have in BDSP, but not in the originals. When I picked this game back up in 2017, my goal was to beat Cynthia, and I did it. I didn't really go through any of the postgame at all. So all I have to do is put the Gibble in my party, throw on an experience share, and by the time I'm done with all of that, we should be good to go. Now we just need to find the Pokemon Center. How do I get over there? I get to the Pokemon Center and promptly swap out my Gibble, named Cynthia, with my Garchomp Janine. I give her the experience share, check her summary, and... modest nature? Are you kidding me? Okay, well, her attack and special attack aren't that different, so I guess we can work with this. With Gibble now safely in my party, I set my sights on Veilstone City, because the movesets on my Pokemon make me wonder how I even beat Cynthia in the first place. There are definitely some high points of Gen 4, but movesets are not one of them. So I poke around the department store, only to discover that the TMs aren't really all that useful anyway. Oh well, looks like we're stuck with this. I might do some shard hunting later, since I've heard there are move tutors. But for walking around in the post-game area, a crummy moveset isn't the worst thing in the world. Before leaving, I decided to restock on supplies, and apparently I spent all of my money on hyper potions. Just how many times did I lose to Cynthia? I mean, that's not a surprise by any means, and I knew that would happen, so I did quit without saving a bunch of times. But my records, as well as my memory, tell me that I did multiple attempts through the Elite Four, mostly to keep the experience my Pokemon learned. I think I did save after losing to Cynthia once, but other than that, I just kept restarting until I got a win. Which is odd, because I definitely had less money than I thought I did. Either that, or hyper potions were a lot more expensive in Gen 4. Either way, it was time for me to set off to go to the flight area. Now, exactly where did I have to go to get there again? Damn it. Why'd it have to be Snow Point? Why couldn't we have taken off from a warmer, more comfortable location? Yes, let me on the boat. It's freezing over here. I arrive at the battle zone, and the first thing I run into is... why did I name him Lewis? Oh well, that's a question for 17-year-old me. Meanwhile, Lewis and this guy over here are arguing over who's the greatest trainer ever, like I'm totally not the one that beat Cynthia. But with them out of my way, I can finally start... oh, that's right, I have to go to the battle tower first. It's been 2 years since I've done this, okay? But while I get that out of the way, I think now would be a great time to tell you that I don't actually know what the Elite Four and Cynthia are going to throw at me. I've started doing the rematches in BDSP, which are based on their Platinum teams, but I've never actually done the rematches in Pokemon Pearl. In fact, until I decided to embark on this quest, I hadn't even thought about doing them at all. So I'm going in blind here, which is totally not going to come back and bite me in the butt. Okay, now can I finally... oh my god, these guys are still here. Why are you still here? I've done the battle tower! Oh, you want me to complete my Pokédex? That's not happening. So it turns out I only have to see every Pokemon and not catch every Pokemon. And this is where my lack of confidence as a teenager comes in handy. Because I know that I made sure to fight every single trainer there because I needed all the experience I could get. See, I've seen them all and then some. Probably due to the fact that I had to trade in Mallory just so I could beat Bertha's Quagsire. So I'll just need to talk to Professor Rowan and I'll be all set. What? Wait, the website said 145. What am I missing? Oh, the legendaries. Well, I guess we're taking a trip to the lakes. You know, for something that was just supposed to be hop on and grind through the post-game, we sure are taking a lot of detours. I mean, I guess I really shouldn't complain because fighting these legendaries will give me the experience I need. But, come on, this is why nothing I ever do gets done in a timely manner. On the bright side, however, Cynthia won her first battle with a Psyduck, and man, these boosted experience points are going to make all this grinding a lot easier. I reached Verity Cavern and approached Mesprit only to have it randomly disappear. Apparently, it's a roaming legendary, which is just code for it's a wild goose chase, because every time I tried to track it down, it fled faster than I could get to the location. How anyone's supposed to achieve that, I have no idea, so I gave up after a couple of tries and headed for Lake Valor. This one actually wanted to fight me, and a quick Shadow Ball from Gengar was all I needed to take it out. The battle gave Cynthia more than enough experience to gain a level, so that's one less I have to grind at the battle zone. She gained another level on the way to Lake Acuity, which caused her to evolve into a Gabite. And I accidentally filmed this one in slow-mo, so now I have to speed it up twice as fast. And apparently I didn't record the Uxie fight, but that went without too many problems. Although it's a lot bulkier than Azolf is. And now I'm only missing one Pokemon. But where the heck am I supposed to see a Dialga? Well, we do that by paying a visit to Cynthia's grandmother, so my next stop is Celestic Town. Once I healed up at the Pokemon Center, and was able to locate the correct house, The woman then showed me a book with a picture of Dialga that I was able to register in my Pokédex. 2 Pokemon in ancient Sinnoh. Yeah, I remember finding that out. That was fun! So with all the Pokemon now registered in my Sinnoh Dex, I came back to show Professor Rowan. Oh, hello, Professor Oak. What are you doing here? Oh, I have impeccable timing? Well, yeah, I learned from the best. Professor Oak then proceeds to give me the National Dex, and hopefully this means I can finally be on my way to the battle zone. This was a fun side quest and everything, but I'd really like to start making some progress now. At least I don't have to fly to Snow Point again. Hopefully now these people will let me through. 3rd time's the charm. Finally! Oh, that took way too long. So I started making my way through the battle zone. And yes, it was slow progress, but it was progress, although probably the most annoying part was basically having to fight all the wild encounters that I would normally skip past. I really hate it when they just get in the way of where I'm trying to go, and normally I would, run from them, but the whole point of this is to gain experience, and so, well, I actually fought them all. But that's not to say that they didn't get annoying after a while. Now, I'm not going to show every battle here because, well, I didn't record every battle. I really don't have a good way of recording the screen of this, so it was just uncomfortable when I had to record, and so I wanted to not record as much as possible while still getting it all documented down for the series and everything. Along the way, I realized I had the TM for Thunderbolt, which I immediately taught to my Luxray because, well, it's a lot more accurate than Thunder. And yes, I do realize that Luxray is a physical attacker, but you don't have the luxury of being completely customizable with movesets in this game, okay? So it works fine. I'm just gonna use it. Okay, now for the big question. Can a level 40 Dragon Claw take out a level 53 Dratini? Oh, I'm gonna regret this, aren't I? Oh my god, that came so close. And I regret this! Crap. It wasn't too big of a deal though. 1 revive later and Cynthia was just fine, and able to get all the experience from that battle. And just in case you are wondering, I did speed up the HP bar. That's how slow this game is. I made it through Route 225 and passed through the survival area. Then went to take on Route 226 and... Are you kidding me? Looks like I conveniently forgot about the fact that you need rock climb to get through this route. I'm not exactly sure why, but HMs have never really bothered me. I mean, I've heard people complain about them all the time, but they just weren't a thing that drove me nuts, ever. The way I handle HMs is that everybody on the team has to share the burden. Staraptor has Fly, Tilly knows Strength, Gengar has Rock Smash, and Empoleon has a whopping 3, Surf, Cut, and Whirlpool. Mallory doesn't have any, but that's because I traded her in from Platinum after I didn't need HMs anymore. The problem is, my Garchomp Janine was the one that knew Rock Climb, and so when I switched her out for Cynthia, I swapped the ability to climb rocks for another Pokemon with Rock Smash. So it looks like we're off to see the move deleter, but before I can do that, I need to find one thing. A heart scale. I spent about 30 minutes trying to dig one up, and then that became annoying because my bag was full of spheres I would never use. So I took my newly acquired Super Rod back to the Pokemon League and spent, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes trying to find a love disc. Eventually I found one, and it didn't have it, so I had to fish for another one, and the second one thankfully did. With the heart scale in hand, I made my way to Canalave City and had the move deleter remove Rock Smash off of Cynthia. And now that I'm thinking about it, I probably should have had him remove Cut from Empoleon so I could give it to Mallory and Empoleon can learn something more useful. Like, I don't need both Giga Drain and Magical Leaf and Synthesis, especially when I don't use Synthesis. However, something about that process didn't feel quite right, so I looked in my bag and what do you know it, there's the heart scale. You mean I didn't have to spend all of that time fishing? I mean, I guess I shouldn't complain too much because Cynthia got some experience from that, but I'm just done with these unnecessary side quests. This has been like 3 of them. I immediately taught Rock Climb to Cynthia, went back to Route 226, and was able to climb up the wall. Time to continue training. Oh, look, a Spheal! I didn't know these guys were going to be here, and it's only level 36. You know, I might just keep Cynthia in if this wasn't an ice type. Yep, There's the Aurora Beam. I made my way over to Route 227, and why does this look like Route 113? Along the way, I battle an ace trainer with a Tauros, and thanks to that battle and the 3 rare candies that I happen to have, Cynthia evolved for the second time. She also learned Dragon Claw, Dig, and Crunch, so now she has a halfway decent moveset. While heading for the mountain, I managed to run into Barry with Crasher Wake of all people. Yes, it has been a while, about 15 years actually. Wake seems extremely concerned about how well I'm going to handle myself in Stark Mountain because I didn't totally beat Cynthia or anything. And after taking a quick rest in the house over there, I made my way up to Stark Mountain and ran into Buck. You know what? I'm just not even gonna bother flexing anymore. With Cynthia now a Garchomp, I made my way up Stark Mountain, and since all the Pokemon were either rock types or fire types, I could easily just beat them all with her now that she could hold her own in battle. Oh, this thing's definitely gonna explode. Let's avoid that. Oh, that's even worse. Eventually, I was able to make my way inside Stark Mountain, and I have to say, Platinum did this area way better. Now, I know the whole point of this is to gain experience, but it's next to impossible to solve a strength puzzle when you're interrupted every 5 minutes by things that can blow themselves up. So I threw up a repel, and I still had to go out and back in because I messed it up. Oh, this could definitely be a problem. Who knew there were wheezing in here? Yep, this is the problem. So much for that experience. After talking to Barry, I went further into Stark Mountain. This time, I was well prepared for any and all explosions. I ran into Buck again, and together we decided to take on the mountain as a team, which meant that now all the battles were double battles. This also meant that I no longer had to worry about supplies, as Buck would heal my Pokemon after every battle. And boy did I need that, because PP was definitely running low. Cynthia had like 2 or 3 left on Dig. Trekking through the mountain was extremely cumbersome with all the double battles, and there were multiple times when I found myself getting annoyed or even falling asleep on the game. But in the process, Cynthia caught up to the rest of the team, and I was able to take the experience share off her. She also attempted to learn Dragon Rush, which definitely would have been worth it if it was guaranteed to hit a minimized target. However, that hadn't been implemented until Generation 6, so I held off on the move for now. There was also quite a bit of funny stuff that happened, like this. The wild Pokemon in this cave are really kind of dumb. But to be fair, so are some of the trainers, like this girl. What are you talking about? I use that move all the time in here. Oh, you meant outside of battle. Crap. We eventually made it to the core of Stark Mountain, where Buck promptly ditched me to go ahead and claim his most sought-after prize. I followed him anyway, and sure enough, he had it. The greatest trainer out of everyone. Right. And that's where things took a turn for the worse, because the volcano was not happy that we had stolen its treasure. Yeah, who thought this would be a good idea again? Either way, I'm not sticking around to find out. It's a good thing I have a handy escape rope. Oh, really, Rowan? You're gonna choose now of all times to go Professor Oak on me? Maybe you should take some of your own advice. The good news is that once I left that room, the escape rope worked. The bad news is that it put me out right in an eruption zone. I immediately hightailed it back to the survival area, where a conversation with Buck's grandfather revealed that taking the Magnastone might in fact awaken a Pokemon which would cause the volcano to erupt. After hearing that, Buck decided to return the stone, and I decided to follow him because, well, he might need the backup. And sure enough, when I got there, I was face to face with a Heatran. Taking advice from her namesake, I began the battle with Cynthia out in front, and level 70? Yeah, this may have been a mistake. Well, I'm not quitting now. What? I just one-shot a Heatran at like 10 levels lower! Yeah, that was extremely anticlimactic, but now I know why Cynthia made that call. Okay, all that's left to do is get the heck out of here, and how the heck am I gonna do that without an escape rope? Oh, that's right, Cynthia has dig. Looks like not having the Earthquake TM actually came in handy. With the whole Heatran thing behind me, I made my way to Route 228, which was covered in a sandstorm for some reason. On top of that, this route also required a lot of tricky bike maneuvers. But other than that, it wasn't really that hard. And other than trying to navigate the place, I was able to get through with no major issues. It was around this point, however, when I realized that none of my Pokemon knew Ice Beam. Yeah, this was going to be a problem. This was probably due to the fact that I didn't have the TM, and once I looked up how to get it, I realized why. You can find the TM for Ice Beam on Route 216. You know, the frigid one where the only thing it's got going for it is the cool music. The catch is that you need Rock Climb to access it, which you're not able to use outside of battle until you beat the Snow Point Gym. And other than getting footage for a video back in 2017, I hadn't been anywhere near that route in this game in like 14 years. And since there was absolutely no way I would have even gone back to that route to get a TM that I didn't even know was there, I knew it hadn't been claimed. So I did it! I went back to Route 216 and got Ice Beam before heading off to explore the rest of the battle zone. And it turns out that the only one of my Pokemon that can learn it is Empoleon. Definitely not the ideal situation, but it's better than nothing. Okay, this guy definitely needs some help. With that taken care of, I made my way down Route 228, 229, and into the resort area. And now that I had reached the checkpoint, I could take care of a few things, like gathering berries. Then I paid a visit to Route 208, where I collected an item that was on top of a waterfall, which will definitely come in handy whether I use it or sell it. And I did that because I went back to the move deleter to remove Waterfall from Empoleon. Since the main waterfall in this game is right before the league and I can fly there, I don't really need it anymore and I might as well swap it out for something useful. I also deleted Cut from Empoleon, only to find out that Mallory can't, in fact, learn it. Seriously, how does Leafeon not get cut when its level up moveset includes Razor Leaf and Leaf Blade? Either way, Empoleon now knows Ice Beam, so I'm in a little bit better shape. Oh look, it's the perfect chance to test my new move! Come on, Empoleon, you got this! After poking around the resort area and fighting rangers in the tall grass of Route 229, I then made my way toward Route 230. And can we talk about how different this place is in Platinum here for a second? I mean, I know they're like completely different universes, but there's a whole freaking landmass in Platinum that's not there in Diamond and Pearl. What's that about? By this point, the battles had become less of an interesting and fun thing to do in the game, and more of an obstacle because all you really had to do was one-shot everything. You've got your Pokemon using a hidden move for you. I find that— oh my god. And it wasn't long until I was back in the fight area where I had arrived on the island. Now what? Now that we've finished exploring the battle zone, I decided it would be best to get my Pokemon up to level 60, and while I could grind to do that, there's actually another side quest I haven't done. This one takes me back to Victory Road, and yes, I did have to put Waterfall back on Empoleon. Man, the move deleter must think I'm nuts or something by now. This time I headed east and was greeted by Marley, who wanted to team up in order to get through the tunnel. And frankly, I don't blame her, especially given the one thing I didn't anticipate in this journey: the fog, which was probably the biggest nuisance of the entire game because everything kept missing. And since I wasn't about to teach another HM to my Pokemon, I just decided to go ahead and deal with it. This made the battles twice as long. All I can say is thank goodness for Magical Leaf. It is so nice to have a move that will always hit no matter what. Marley's Arcanine, however, was a different story. And look, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but despite knowing Fire Blast and Extreme Speed, or was it Fire Fang? I don't remember. But this Arcanine mostly used Helping Hand, which, well, sometimes was productive, other times would be used on a turn I switched out on. Slowly but surely, we made our way through the cave, but not without some interesting mishaps. Like this Ace Trainer, who had their Blissey use Minimize 3 times in the fog. And since Magical Leaf wasn't gonna do a dang thing because Blissey is high special defense and it knew Soft Boiled, it was pretty much all up to Cynthia, who managed to pull through right when I needed her to. It got so bad that I actually considered teaching Staraptor Defog, although that would kind of been soul-crushing since I've had Endeavor on her since high school. But then I had a better idea. I knew from playing Pokemon Scarlet that Leafeon could learn Sunny Day. So I taught it to Mallory, hoping that I could set up the sun and that would get rid of the fog at least during the battle. And it worked, so I no longer had to rely on Magical Leaf and the occasional Machamp with no guard. Yeah, I definitely should have thought of that sooner. Right after I did, and after getting lost trying to access something that I can't with Marley in tow, we reached the end of Victory Road and she left me to my own devices. Okay, this is gonna blow some of your minds. I can use Dragon Claw on Azumarill. Figured I'd give her something to flex about when she gets to Gen 8. Since my Pokemon were only about level 58-59, I decided to do Route 224. This went without incident, other than Mallory being the first one to reach level 60. By the way, I just want to point out that even though the graphics are really limited with this game, there's just a simple joy to just walking around the water like this. Once I was done with that, I started with my final preparations for the League. Things like checking the berries I planted, going back to the foggy part of Victory Road to get the last few trainers and items I missed, and fighting a few more wild Pokemon, and using a couple of rare candies I found to get my entire team up to level 60. One thing I had been contemplating doing was giving my Staraptor a name. After all, she was the one that secured my first victory against Cynthia, and I think she deserves to be called something other than Staraptor. I didn't really know what to call her at first. I wasn't really a big fan of Nosedive, but after some searching I found Avia, and well, that kinda just fit. I also tried to the best of my ability to fully balance out my movesets. I didn't have any fire-type moves at all, and Cynthia was the only one that could use Flamethrower, which I didn't really want to teach her because I don't really want to waste a TM on a Pokemon that isn't even staying in the game. But I visited the move reminder, and as luck would have it, Cynthia learns Fire Fang at like level 1. So I was finally able to use that heart scale that I had spent 45 minutes fishing up. So here's the final team. To start things off, we have the star of our show, Cynthia the Garchomp, with Dragon Claw, Fire Fang, Dig, and Rock Climb. She's also holding a Pecha Berry, because chances are one of Aaron's Pokemon is gonna be a bug poison type, and I want to be ready in case I get poisoned. That, and I really couldn't find anything that fit her better. Next, we have the starter that I received from Professor Rowan all the way back in June of 2008, Wrigley the Empoleon, and yes, I did name him after the other Wrigley. I couldn't think of anything else. But he's got Flash Cannon, Surf, Ice Beam, and Waterfall with the leftovers. No, I couldn't think of another move that would be better, so we're just sticking with it for now. We have Avia, my very first Staraptor, with Fly, Double Team, Endeavor, and Close Combat. That moveset has not changed since high school. She's also holding a Citrus Berry. We have Dazzle the Gengar with Sludge Bomb, Shadow Ball, Rock Smash, and Psychic. I put Sludge Bomb on her because, well, I didn't have another Poison-type move. She's also got a Lumberry to heal any status conditions that might arise. Next, we have Tilly the Luxray that I caught back in 2017 when I decided I was finally gonna beat this game. She's got Thunder Fang, Crunch, Strength, as well as Light Screen, just in case, and I put the Light Clay on her to extend that Light Screen, because you never know if you're gonna need it. And last but certainly not least, we have Mallory, the female Leafeon, that I got when I decided to breed EV on the way to class when I was bored. I believe I told you that story in the first part, but enough with the history lesson. She's got Giga Drain, X-Scissor, Sunny Day, and Magical Leaf. Yes, I did decide to keep Sunny Day because that will activate Leaf Guard, which will protect her a little bit. And because Cynthia can take advantage of it as well. As for her held item, it is the Miracle Seed, and that's because she's a physical attacker, but there aren't really all that many physical grass-type attacks in Generation 4, so hopefully this can compensate for her poor special attack stat. Cause I'm stuck with this moveset. Now don't get me wrong, I've enjoyed playing this game again, it was fun, But now it's time to get what we came for. And so I made my way into the Pokemon League, hoping that I actually knew what I was getting into. Now's the perfect time to remind you all that I have absolutely no idea what I'm getting into. But I've done my best to prepare, so let's get this over with. Hello, Aaron. Bro, do you not remember me from when I came in 6 years ago? Okay, moment of truth. How screwed am I? Dustox. Okay, was kind of thinking beautiful. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I thought the levels would be a little bit higher. Looks like this'll be easy. Yeah, I was kind of prepared for flying type to be easy. Let's switch out. That's better. Yeah, that was the perfect switch. Are you kidding me? I mean, I definitely didn't want to one-shot everything, but still... Why do I always forget that they can use full restores? Oh well, at least I got them to use it now. Oh look, it's the Beautifly he thought he could beat Cynthia with.
Beautifly is unable to battle, and Cynthia keeps her title!
Yeah, this should be easy. Time for Cynthia to test her Fire Fang. Okay, well that didn't do too much. Dragon Claw should do the trick. Drapion. Oh no, this is the one that I can never remember what type it is. Like, is it a bug type? I mean, it looks like it should be a bug type, but it's not. Oh well, it's a poison type. Dig should work. We're leaving Cynthia in. We'll just have to try it and see if it's super effective. Please don't know Earthquake. Okay, it's super effective. It's not a bug type. Wait, bug does resist ground, right? Oh no. Come on, Cynthia, you can tank this, you can tank this! That was close. Who knew it had that? Yeah, we're not sticking around. Avia will be good for whatever his next Pokemon is. Let's go with her. Or she could be good for this one too. Figures the one time I bring a burden against something that isn't a bug and he uses a full restore. Wait a minute, this thing's a dark type! I can use close combat! I should have gone with that! Vespiquen. Okay, I can deal with this. I'll take it! First victory? Aaron, you do realize I've beaten Cynthia, right? Which you couldn't do. Three trainers that are tougher than you? Well, that explains why you thought he had a chance against Cynthia. Okay, next up is Bertha. You know, the one that drives this. Why do you look like Karen? Please don't call me that. Okay, so as much as I think I should start with Mallory, I need her for the Quagsire. So just in case anybody happens to have an odd ice type move, I'm gonna start with Empoleon. Why? Just why? Well, this is off to a great start. Oh, I need to negate that right now. Maybe this won't go so bad after all. Mallory! So despite appearances, this Pokemon is actually a rock, so one flash cannon... Oh boy. It's a good thing Steel resists Dark in this generation. By the way, I am speeding up all of the HP parts. Who thought that making it drop that slow was a good idea? Okay, Hippowdon's next, and it's gonna start another Sandstorm, which Wrigley is immune to. So even though I'm pretty positive that it can use Earthquake, I'm leaving Empoleon in. Okay, Direct Sunlight is gone. Surf should do its full potential now. Wow, that is one tanky Hippo. Correction. Tanky Hippo with a Citrus Berry. Not what I was expecting, but I'll take it. Will Waterfall be enough? I mean, I have the move. Might as well use it. Yes, it will. Okay, biggest threat is down. Okay, there is absolutely no way that this does not have Sturdy, so we're just gonna Dragon Claw it. And then Dig should be able to take it from there. No, it's not gonna take it from there. Okay, we gotta come up with something else. You know, I don't think I've ever had an issue with this many moves breaking into my semi-invulnerability. Like, if you ever want to know when that's not going to protect you, it's when you're fighting Bertha and every Pokemon knows Earthquake. Okay, when in doubt, use Psychic. I'm just going to do the Pokemon Yellow method here. I did not know it knew that. Okay, let's see how much this does. Wow, that did quite a bit. I may just have to bring Mallory back out and just deal with the Earthquake. Okay, let's see if we can get this done using Magical Leaf. Okay, only one more to go. Who's it gonna be? Well, would you look at that? A Pokemon that has a 4 times weakness to the one that's standing in front of me. This has gotta be a joke. That was a quad effective stab boosted move and it still didn't knock it out? Now I know why she brought this one out last. Yeah, I'm not assuming anything after the Whiscash tanked that hit. Oh, that's why she made that comment. I was about to say, have not seen her use a full restore yet. What? How did that work, but Giga Drain didn't?
There are no guarantees the same thing will happen 2 times in a row.
Okay, that's fair. Either way, we've done it. We are now halfway through the Elite Four. And this has, been way too easy, so I'm gonna change it to Set and see if that makes a difference. And you know what? I'm gonna leave with Cynthia, just to troll Flint. Not gonna lie, I am a little bit nervous about this one because, well, that. But I'm doing it anyway, so here we go. Finally, somebody who recognizes my greatness. Oh. Do you not remember me coming here before? Whatever. Let's get this started. Rapidash. You know, it would be great if I had a better way of filming this. This had Hypnosis and BDSP, so we're gonna avoid that in case it has it here. What? Oh, okay. It looks like you're trying to take advantage of Garchomp's grass weakness. Yeah, that's not happening. Infernape. Looks like I'll just use Dig again. I regret all of my choices. Oh my god, I walked right into this. I can't believe it has Earthquake! Come on, Cynthia, you can tank this. I believe in you! Cynthia! Oh my god, if this KOs, this will be one of the clutchest things that has ever happened. Come on, keep going. Cynthia, that was amazing! Like M&J TV said, there's a very real possibility this Lopunny can have Ice Punch, so Cynthia needs to get out of here. Oh, right before I use close combat. I don't like this. So now that I know that this thing has Mirror Coat, I really want to hit it with like a physical move, but I should really switch Ava out because of the close combat, but the only other physical attacker I have is Cynthia, and she's barely got any HP left. Screw it, I'm just gonna use Fly and rely on this semi-invulnerability. Sheesh, that charm did a lot! Oh, why are you setting up the sun? That tears it. I'm switching out. I'm gonna throw in Mallory. At least I can take advantage of Leaf Guard while the sun's out. Ugh, figures. Okay, this is a physical attack. That did nothing! Oh my god. Oh, great. Flint is annoying. Oh my god. I give up. I give up. I'm just gonna use Psychic and hope it doesn't use Mirror Coat. What? This is worse than the Drifblim. At least he went for Sunny Day. I don't know why he wants that sun up so badly. Finally! Oh, look. There it is. Oh, at least I was able to go first. Please do some big damage before it throws up a Minimize. Okay, we have a chance now. Wait, it doesn't have Minimize? Okay, that's not that bad. One double team is just luck. It really takes two to actually get the evasiveness boosted, pretty much. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. This battle has fried my brain. Damn it. Okay, do me a favor and don't miss. You have got to be fire trucking kidding me with this! I'm done. I'm done. I'm fire trucking done. Lucian can wait till tomorrow. Oh my god. This is gonna go on for another 5 hours, isn't it? Just 5 hours of Drifblim at 1 HP. Just dodging everything I throw at him. See? What did I just tell you? Oh, and now he's got Stab, super effective. And Psychic misses, because of course it does. There's another Pokemon. Oh my god, there's an entire another Pokemon left. Yeah, it's definitely time for Magical Leaf if I ever needed it. What? I mean, I guess I really should not be surprised by this, but... Oh, that's why he kept putting up the sun! Oh, it's a good thing Leafeon is bulky. Magical Leaf may not be that strong of an attack, but it's a guaranteed hit, so I'll take it. Yikes, that defense drop really did some work. Come on, Mallory, you got this, you got this! Finally, okay, just Drifblim to go. Your will is overpowering me. Yeah, I don't think I could ever overpower this.
Got it. People power. Great idea. I like it.
Oh my god. If that was Flint, this ribbon's going to be way harder to get than I thought. Maybe I should use some practice. Burnt right down to the cinders. Me too, Flint. Me too. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, it has been a few days since that last fight. Flint kinda did a number on me. But we're not quitting. We haven't lost yet, and so here we are. Now, I did look this up because I was kinda concerned about that Bronzong having Trick Room like it does in BDSP, but as you can see here, that's not the case in this game, so I'm more concerned about the Alakazam with Recover. That's going to be a pain in the butt. But other than that, there's nothing too concerning here. Now, I will be leading with Tilly, just because Gengar is Poison type, and Mr. Mime is weak to Dark in this game, because there is no doubt in my mind that Mr. Mime will set up these screens. So the sooner I deal with that, the better. Okay, Lucian, let's do this. Bro, that is exactly what you said the last time I was here. Is this like scripted or something? You know, I would ask how it was faster, but after that one Journeys episode, I'm not gonna question it anymore. Yep, there's the light screen. Two can play at this game. Okay, interesting move choice. Why you would do that on an electric type, I don't really know. He didn't use a full restore. Okay, that's worth noting. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see exactly what you're doing here, and I want none of it. Fire Fang is really the only move I have that can deal with Bronzong, because Steel resists both Ghost and Dark in this game. So we'll just have to see how much this does. Wow, Bronzong is tanky. Another Psychic. Okay, we can deal with that. And that will probably get it to the point where it needs to eat its Citrus Berry. Yep, there it is. I wonder why he keeps using Psychic. I mean, Garchomp's fast. Gyro Ball would be amazing. What? Oh, it was a crit! Well, their light screen has run off, so Surf should do it. Okay, Bronzong's down. I don't have to worry about Earthquake anymore. Oh, but this has Drain Punch. Yeah, not sticking around for that. I'm sending in Gengar because Medicham only has punching moves, and one of them won't be effective, so I don't have to worry about a Psychic. What I do have to worry about is Fire Punch. Yikes, that did a lot! Wait, how did our light screen last longer than... Oh, likely. Duh. Really? We're doing this again. Please tell me this is not gonna KO. Ooh, that was close though. There's the full restore. Okay, let's see what Shadow Ball will do this time. You know, you could have done that the first time. Alakazam! Well, that's a terrifying matchup, but Gengar's on so little health, we're just gonna let her go down and then I can bring someone else in safely. What? That's odd. Why would you have Psychic? Why would you use an Energy Ball on a Gengar? I mean, yeah, I do that too when I need to just knock something out, but I wasn't expecting that from a member of the Elite Four. This is what Lucian meant when he jump scared Ash and his friends, wasn't it?
The Elite Four really are that powerful.
That wasn't that great.
Huh?
See? I'm still learning. That match taught me a lot.
Yep, that would definitely explain that. Okay, Crunch is my best bet here. Focus Blast. Oh, I really don't like the sound of that at all. Okay, that was a little too close for comfort. And that did a fair amount. Oh, Recover. Okay, here we go. You know, given the fact that it has Recover, I really should have thrown up another life screen. You know what, I'll do that now, because if he's not going to recover, he's probably going to use another full restore. And yep, it's the full restore, which gives us a chance to throw up another light screen. It's not going to keep Tilly from getting KO'd, obviously, but it should protect us in the future. So I think this is a fair trade-off. Now I'm just gonna hide behind semi-invulnerability like a shield, and if all else fails, Endeavor. Energy Ball again? Okay. Wait, what? It used it twice in a row? Did Avia just speed dive with this Alakazam? Yeah, Staraptor's fast, but I didn't think it was that fast. This definitely shifts the tides in my favor. Oh, watch this. This speed tie is going to be like a free power herb. Oh my god, it's like it took one turn. Okay, just Girafarig to go. Now what should I do? Yeah, I'm wondering that myself. You know what? Maybe I should just close combat. I mean, that's not going to be resisted. Yeah, let's do that. Double hits. Okay. Oh, that did quite a bit. And here's the second one. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm gonna use Fly here because the semi-invulnerability will offset the drops from that. And that's why double hit did so much. Come on, Avia, you've got this! We did it. We did it! We got through the Elite Four! Congratulations, you've now beaten the Elite Four. However, that doesn't mean you're done with the Pokemon League. What? Hey, if you're gonna act like this is my first time here, so am I. There remains the champion. I should warn you, the champion is far stronger than the Elite Four. Now go on, step through the doorway to your final battle. Well, that was actually not that bad. Maybe I should be worried. My heart is pounding, but like, in a good way. It's like pounding with excitement. The last time I did this, it was Staraptor that clutch missed an Ice Beam. Like, I'm not kidding you, I seriously thought that battle was over. She then went to KO Milotic with Fly, and that's what won me the battle. Now, I'm hoping that this time around, I might be able to do it in one attempt. I'm not gonna hold myself to that, though. I never go into this battle expecting to win. As for the plan, I kind of don't have one. I mean, well, obviously I'm gonna be Gen 4ing it, because, well, this is Gen 4, and I don't really have a choice in that matter. But other than that, who should I lead with? You know what? Maybe I'll just do what Ash did.
Stream Eater multiple times!
Oh, rush spot! Look at that!
Dragonite, no!
On second thought, that might not be the best idea. You know what? My gut is telling me Luxray, so you know what? I know what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm gonna do now. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, here goes nothing. Oh my god, they actually changed the dialogue. One look at you tells me many things about you. Together, you and your Pokemon overcame all the challenges you faced, however difficult. It means that you've triumphed over any personal weaknesses, too. No, Cynthia, I haven't, but thanks for the vote of confidence. The power you learned, I can feel it from you. That's enough talking. Let's get on with why you're here. I, Cynthia, accept your challenge as the Pokemon League champion. There won't be any let-up from me. Yikes! Okay, the level 60 training was a good idea after all. Okay, we're gonna start this by throwing up a light screen. Silver Wind. Okay, I was not expecting that move. Didn't even know this thing could learn that. Oh, that did nothing. Okay, that was a decent amount of damage. Wow, that did a lot more than— oh, psychic. Okay, she's playing mind games with us now. How much is this? Okay, that light screen was definitely the right idea. How did that do so much? Oh, that was a crit. Okay. Embargo. Well, it's a good thing we got the light screen up. Well played, Cynthia. Well played. Okay, floating dishes down. That was not who I expected her to send in. I had planned to put this back to Switch, but I forgot. So let's hope this doesn't bite me in the butt. Yep, saw that one coming from a mile away. It did nothing. I hate using Giga Drain when the HP is almost full, but in this circumstance, I'm gonna take all the help I can get. Oh my god, Mallory, way to go! Okay, so far this has been surprisingly easy. Now I'm concerned. Rosary. Do I want to stay in, or do I want to swap to somebody else? You know what? Let's just hit it with an X scissor and see how much it does. That was a fair amount. Oh my god. Since when did extra sensory do so much damage? Yeah, definitely switching out here. Oh, it's time for the rematch! That's kind of a cool sprite animation. Okay, fun and games are over. We need to hit this Milotic hard. This should do the trick. Oh god, this one is Mirror Coat too. Okay, stick to physical attacks then. Glad I learned that now. Oh my god, are you kidding me? That did more than I would have liked. Okay, $5 says she'll full restore. So I'm gonna take advantage of this and throw up another light screen. What?! Hit this time, please. Oh my god! Another clutch crit! And I know exactly who's coming out next. Here we go! Considering that Empoleon is the only one that has Ice Beam, I'm gonna let Tilly go down so I can bring him in safely. What? I mean, I shouldn't be surprised. She did use that against Paul's Torterra. It's not that big of a deal. She's only got physical attackers left. I'm just gonna hope that Wrigley can withstand one Earthquake. Come on, that's all you need to do. Dragon Rush! Oh my god, she missed a Dragon Rush! Luck is definitely in my favor today. Okay, there's the earthquake. Come on, Wrigley, please! Yes! We've got this now. Okay, this is it! I can't remember the last time I was put in a corner like this. Once again, we're just gonna go for the safe switch-in. Yeah, there was no way I was not doing this. Come on, you all know me better than that. It's a good thing I taught her Fire Fang. Lucario has Dragon Ball, so that's not good. That's not good. I won't let this end yet. This match is too fun to let it end this easily. We did it! The ribbon is ours! Just a few minutes ago, you were the most powerful challenger. And just now, you became the most powerful of all trainers. You are our newest champion. Let's just take a moment to bask in the glory. It's beautiful! And so, for the second time, I got to see the credits roll. I have to say, I definitely enjoyed playing Pokemon Pearl again. I had fun going through the post-game and reacquainting myself with some of my high school Pokemon. But now that the champion ribbon is securely in hand, it's time to begin the long trek to Pokemon Home. How exactly do I do that again? Oh, right, like this. Yeah, as you can probably guess, I've never actually done this before, but I did take a minute to learn from the mistakes of somebody else. So when M&J TV said he had problems syncing the game to the clock, I did check that and it was just fine. Just to be on the safe side, and because Pokemon isn't the only thing I do with my day, I gave it a 24-hour period anyway, completely forgetting about the fact that the next day was Sunday, which meant my mom would spend 3 hours yelling at the Bears losing. Also, I think this is the very first time I've ever put White 2 in my DS. And yes, I did choose to do this with White 2 just because it holds much more significant value to me. So I booted up the game and... why is it autumn? I mean, that's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, think about it. It could be much worse. It could be a more depressing season. Damn it. For someone that prefers to use female Pokemon, how did I end up with a team that is almost entirely male? I also completely forgot I had an Azumarill in this game. No wonder I seem to like this Pokemon so much. Anyway, I quickly made my way through Route 16 and across the very marvelous bridge. I then came across this strange-looking facility on a route surrounded by mist. Inside, I met a woman who totally freaked out over the fact that I had 8 gym badges. Girl, I got all of those in 2012. You're about 10 years too late. She then took me up to meet the professor, who also was flipping out over the number of badges I had. He then went on to explain the process of how his machine works using a bunch of scientific terms I couldn't hope to understand. But what I did get was that I would not be able to transfer Pokemon with held items, so I went back to Pearl and got rid of the Person Berry I had on Cynthia and this experience share? You can trade Pokemon with experience share? Guess I have 2 of those in Pearl now. That would have made grinding easier. I was finally allowed to test the machine, and then I went over to my 3DS to initiate the download play process. Something I had also never done before. Wow, this really ends up being a process of firsts, isn't it? I'm allowed access to my boxes in Pearl, and you have got to be kidding me. Well, looks like we're back off to see the move deleter. You know, I really thought I was done with this. There, it should work now. This time around, I was actually successful. I chose Cynthia, a couple of female Eevees from the ones I bred in Platinum, the female Empoleon, a Ralts, and one of the love discs I was catching when I wanted to get the heart scale. And then I was tasked with slingshotting Pokeballs while the Pokemon were hopping between bushes. It kinda took me a little bit of time to get the hang of it, if I ever did. I don't think I'm very good at this game. Wait, hold on. Got her! I had 2 still left to catch when time was called, so I actually had to go back and do the entire process again, without the recording this time, since I intended to transfer all of them, except for the love disc. But eventually, all 6 Pokemon made their way into my Black 2 game. And so, Cynthia's now in Generation 5. Let's take a quick look at her summer. That animation is so cool. As you can see here, it says she was caught in Sinnoh. And you can also see that she has a ribbon, which, on closer inspection, is the Sinnoh Champion ribbon. And I'm sure you're all expecting me to immediately move her to Pokemon Bank, but there's one thing I'd like to do first. Just a quick little trip to Undella Town, and yeah, you know where this is going. Before I send out my Pokemon, my heart always begins to race. Mine is too, actually. Okay, so I actually have a strategy for this. It's called Toxic. Oh no. Well, I'm glad it's poisoned. That did nothing. Wait, does Ghost resist poison? Well, at least the Toxic still works. Okay, what am I gonna do now? Maybe I should switch out to Stall. Surf seems to work pretty well against this. Oh, it has Hypnosis! Yes, Azumarill! Yeah, this time I'm not that lucky. If she's got Dream Eater, I swear I'm gonna... Oh my god. Jeez, that did a lot! Come on, Azumarill, save me from pulling an Ash, please! Yes! And it misses. Of course it does. The good news is that Poison will take it out this turn. I can't believe I forgot about that. I can't believe I forgot about that. Now what am I gonna do? I'll just hide behind semi-invulnerability again. Okay, clearly this is not gonna work unless I poison it again. So we're just gonna let Azumarill go down so I can bring Scolipede in safely. Okay, look, Scolipede, I need you to hit this Toxic, okay? Ugh! I honestly don't know whether to be happy or mad about that. Good, okay. Now we just have to hope she doesn't use another full restore, which I don't think she will, but I still have my fingers crossed. Maybe I should have been using X-Scissor this whole time. Oh boy. Well, Dream Eater's a Psychic type move, so we're switching out. Okay, I was not anticipating that to be that long. Why would she... Oh, she's gonna Ice Beam. Still, Serperior's the best Pokemon I have to handle this, so I'm staying in. Oh, that's actually worse. Please don't be immobilized. Please don't be immobilized. Great. Oh, Blizzard! Oh my god, please. Please tank this, please tank this, please tank this. Oh no. Oh my god, it's just 13! Holy crap! Come on, Serperior, snap out of it! Yes! This should get a lot of health back. Okay, maybe not. Yeah, we're not pulling through another Blizzard. Well, time for Plan B. This is now one of my favorite starters. Okay, let's try Leaf Blade this time. Please hit, please hit, please hit. Yes! Like, I don't expect this to happen, but wouldn't it be great if it just took out... Oh my god! And it was a crit! That has to be the clutchest crit ever! I'm pretty sure I know who's coming in next. Okay, it's Lunatone's time to shine. Why do I have it in a netball? Well, I suppose it was too much to ask for that to miss 2 battles in a row. You know what? I'm freaking doing it. Cynthia! Oh my god, this is just like BDSP. She got a hit! She got a hit! Oh wow, that actually did quite a lot. Well, like I said, twice in a row was too much to ask for. Well, I do have one last trick up my sleeve, because Garchomp's weak to grass. Oh no. Okay, now you're just showing off.
Oh, please. Well, I'm just fine with showing off.
Was I expecting to win that battle? Absolutely not. Her Pokemon were way too higher level than mine. But I'm extremely happy with how it played out. The superior clutches, Cynthia getting a hit on Cynthia's Garchomp, and getting to battle 3 of her Pokemon. I'm calling that a win. I was not planning to play through this during winter, but now that I am, there's actually something kind of cool that I want to check out. So before I start messing with Pokemon Bank, I'm gonna head over to Iciris City. I hate winter. But in this instance, it actually works in my favor, as there's a snow bank that allows me to access a certain house that isn't accessible in any of the other seasons. I might not look it, but I'm the sound designer. I want folks to hear my wonderful music, so I'm traveling all over these parts. How about giving my favorite music a listen? Extended holiday stay in Unova, it's time for Cynthia to begin the next leg of her journey. Too bad Winter couldn't also have taken a holiday. I make my way to the Pokemon Center and then promptly deposit Cynthia in Box 1 with the other Pokemon from Platinum. I then loaded up Transporter, and this is where I ran into a problem, because everything was fine until it decided to take 5 hours to connect to the internet. I ended up getting this error. And after about 25 to 30 minutes screwing around inputting passwords and being genuinely concerned that the Pokemon Company screwed this up when the eShop went offline, I finally figured out the issue. Apparently, our Wi-Fi network has multiple access points with multiple logins. Why? Just why? With the connection successful, I was finally able to move my Pokemon into Pokemon Bank, where I ran into a new problem. Yeah, with all the excitement, I conveniently forgot that I need to put a 3DS game in the slot. So I went with Omega Ruby, another game I have fond nostalgic memories of playing in school. And then I had to spend quite a bit of time figuring out how to get access to the Pokemon in the transport box, only to discover that it was the next one over the entire time. I selected all of the Pokemon and put them in Box 1 of Pokemon Bank. Long story short, this was another 5-minute process that ended up taking 45 minutes. This is what I get for doing this during a Mercury retrograde. So you're probably wondering, Joan, what are you doing in Lily Cove City right now? And the answer is, well, I wanted to get away from December in Chicago, so I thought I'd come here for a somewhat tropical vacation. No, that's actually not the reason at all. The real reason I'm here is that I realized that while Cynthia was in Pokemon Bank, I could put her in some 3DS games. And so I figured, with all of the crap that I had to go through to get her in Bank in the first place, I deserve to have some fun. Now, I'm not exactly sure how long it's been since I last played this game, but I do know that it's been quite a while. It's been a few years at least. So this should be quite the nostalgic blast from the past. There are a few things in here that we can do that are exclusive to these games, so let's start by going to the Pokemon Center and seeing what Cynthia looks like in Generation 6. Well, I know when the last time I played this game was now. You're 2.5 months too late. Anyway, here's Cynthia as she looks in Omega Ruby, and this is the first time we're seeing her in 3D, so that's kinda cool. This is also interesting. It's a box with a face. Seems to have traveled across both space and time to reach you from the Sinnoh region. That is oddly appropriate. And of course, she still has her beautiful ribbon, which the top screen tells us is the Sinnoh Champion ribbon. The main reason I brought her into this game is I really wanted to check out what she looks like in Pokemon Amie, since I've never played with Garchomp in here before. Now let's feed her some Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, she doesn't seem too happy about that. This one looks pretty tasty. We then played a game of Had It Together, and it's pretty apparent that I haven't played this in a really long time, since I could not get her to bounce the ball back. There we go. Maybe we can get it from now on. Never mind. We were then joined by the Gardevoir and Milotic I had in my party. Oh my goodness, Milotic is here. Now I'm really tempted to get that Sea Mauville encounter so we could just have a whole entire row of Cynthia's Pokemon. Okay, come on Cynthia, you got this. Yes! I am so glad we got that big ball of yarn because I have never been able to get the timing right on that one. We also played a really fun game of berry picking, this time joined by the Sceptile I started this game with. Yes, I definitely think it's safe to say that Cynthia enjoyed herself here. And while we were in Omega Ruby, I figured I should enter her in a contest just for fun. Contests are a really fun feature of this game that, aside from being prevalent in the anime, don't really get talked about all that much. Which I think is really sad, because it's a great way to use Pokemon that you like that aren't really the best for battling. I played a lot of them in Sapphire when I just didn't want to grind anymore, and I discovered that they were fun and complex all of their own. So I definitely want Cynthia to have this experience. I fed her some red Pokeblock and taught her Brick Break, and then I entered her in a normal level Cool contest. Now, it's been a while since I've done one of these, and I don't remember all of the intricacies, but I did happen to brush up on the basics. And because of this, I wasn't really expecting to show any mastery of it, but just for myself and Cynthia to have a good time. The audience sure did. Along the way, I remembered a little bit more about how these things work. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little disappointed that I wasn't able to get Cynthia to do a spectacular talent. In fact, I would have loved to have done more with this, but I was trying to get Cynthia on Pokemon Home by the end of the year, and I just didn't really have the time to become a full-fledged contest expert. But Cynthia still performed really well, despite the Tailo coming in and taking her top spot in the appeal round. Actually, it looks like it was the Aron. Never mind. Okay, it's time for the moment of truth. Yep, Cynthia ended up winning, and I honestly thought the top spot would either go to the Aron or the Tailo, but I'm happy with the fact that she was actually able to pull out a win with this too. And believe it or not, she was only a little bit above the Tailo. With the contest win in hand, I went back to the Pokemon Center and tried to deposit her back in Pokemon Bank. Tried being the key word here, because I actually put my 3DS down after the contest to do something else for a while, and when I came back, it didn't want to connect to the internet again. And I tried everything to get it to work. I turned it off and turned it back on again. I did all the different combinations of the network and the passcodes, but nothing. It just didn't want to connect. So after, I don't know, maybe about like 30 minutes, I just decided I'm done for today and turned it off, then decided I would try again in the morning. The next morning, my 3DS had actually decided to cooperate, and so I was able to put Cynthia back into Pokemon Bank. I had contemplated skipping over this, however, I figured that as long as my 3DS was on, it would stay connected to the internet. So we took another detour. This time to Alola. Here's what Cynthia looks like in Generation 7, as well as what she looks like with her ribbon. I also realized that this was the first opportunity I had to check her IVs, and oh my god. Well, that certainly makes up for having a crummy nature this whole time. And above average potential. You know what? I'm glad I did this. How did I get so lucky? But that's not the reason we've come to Alola. I figured that since Cynthia's already seen Hoenn and traveled throughout Sinnoh and Unova, why not take her to a few places in Alola as well? Starting with Seafolk Village. And as much as I wanted to take her into Sun instead of Ultra Sun, because that's just the game I enjoyed more, there were a couple of things I wanted to do that were only available in Ultra Sun. First things first, however, I checked out Cynthia in Pokemon Refresh. I gave her some rainbow Pokebeans too, because, well, why not? Then I wanted to take her to the beach, which was on another island. So what better way to do that than by Mantine surfing? Yeah, it's been a while since I've done this too, so I'm completely and totally rusty and have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. But I figured I'd still show you some of the highlights. Wait, what is that? A Wailord! What? Why is there a Wailord in the middle of the ocean? Damn, Sharpedo. Wow, I'm finally getting good at weaving around everything. Never mind. Oh my god. What is with these tentacles? Oh, those are Wailmer! Oh my god, what is up with these Sharpedo? Oh, look at the Corsola on the rock! But even with all of my miserable failures, I did manage to pull off one amazing trick. And then slam into a bunch of Wailmer almost immediately after. what are you complaining about? You were watching from the comfort of your Pokeball the entire time! I mean, hey, it wouldn't be a trip to Alola without visiting the beach at least once, right? Wait, no! Oh, nice save. Our next stop was the Alola Photos Club to get our pictures taken. Wait, how did you know that? What? Did anybody else know about this? This wasn't a feature I used very much when I was actually playing the game, but I figured it would be kind of fun to take a few photos together in order to commemorate the journey. And even though I never took this particular Garchomp to Spear Pillar, I figured this would be a great way to pay homage to her home, as well as the first half of our journey. I mean, I trained her up in Sinnoh. She beat Cynthia in Sinnoh. And so if we're taking photos, why not use a Sinnoh background? Took some photos with a beach backdrop, as well as one of the Battle Tree, as her namesake can be fought there. And while we're on that subject, yes, I do realize that I probably could go and do another Cynthia fight. But given the amount of effort that would go into that, and the fact that it is now December 30 when I'm trying to get this done by New Year's Eve, I don't have time for it. So after some screwing around with stickers, there, the perfect picture to reflect our journey. So now we just need to head back to... Oh, crap, it's a fairy. Oh, and even worse, Garchomp's weak to grass! But why don't we just take a moment to look at the cinematic battle scenes here. Safely back in Pokemon Bank, it's time for her to begin the final leg of her journey. So I opened up Pokemon Home and what in the world is this? Seriously, what am I looking at? This looks like Professor Oak if he lived in the future timeline of Pokemon Violet. Anyway, my first step was to actually pay for the Pokemon Home subscription. And to my pleasant surprise, you can actually turn Nintendo Gold points into funds. Did anybody else know that you could do that? So after logging in and parting with 52 cents, I was able to begin the transfer from Pokemon Bank to Pokemon Home. Here's to hoping I don't forget to turn off the automatic renewal when this is all over. I was given a connection key and then told that I had 3 minutes to input the entire string of 16 random letters and numbers into the 3DS. Did I ever mention that I hate being on a time limit? I mean, I had no doubt in my mind that I could do this in the time allotted, but I had to look at the screen, find the letter, look at the 3DS, find the letter on the keyboard, and then type it in and then repeat it 16 times. And even though I did it one section at a time, this made the whole thing more nerve-wracking and stressful than it ever needed to be. I finished it with 1 minute and 30 seconds left to spare, but then it told me that I wouldn't be able to use Pokemon Home until the move was complete. And there was absolutely no way to check the progress whatsoever, so I ended up sitting there for like 3 minutes wondering what the heck do I do now. But after loading up Pokemon Home again, I found Cynthia as well as the others in Box 2 of Pokemon Home. And here she is. In Pokemon Home, we can see her EV spread as well as her IV spread. And dang, did I luck out on that attack IV. I mean, that's been more than enough to make up for the crummy nature she's had this whole time. Quick side note while we're here, but who decided that Lucky Chant wasn't going to be usable in Gen 8 and Gen 9? Like, come on, I would like to be able to shield my Pokemon from crits, thank you very much. And now here comes the moment you've all been waiting for. I've decided to bring Cynthia to Galar, as Garchomp is a shield exclusive and I have Sword. So I put the card in the Switch, connected the game, and dropped her off in one of my boxes, right next to Cotton Fluff, the snow frolicker that's quad weak to ice. And from there, it was as simple as loading the game and putting her in my party. And so, here's Cynthia the Garchomp, safe and sound in Pokemon Sword. We can see in her summary that she has come from the Sinnoh region, and since she doesn't have an origin mark, that means she is from the Gen 4 Sinnoh games. We can also see that she has her ribbon that we worked so hard to obtain. I can hardly contain my excitement. Okay, let's equip this thing and take it for a test run. Oh my god, she looks so beautiful, and I can talk to her! And we can just take a stroll along this beach. Look at her walk. Oh my goodness, this is so cool! And there it is. Oh my goodness, we're finally here. Really, Toxpex? Really? I just bring Cynthia into the game and you're gonna poison her? Well, time to set up a camp. Oh, God! Cotton Fluff! What is this? What are you doing? Well, it looks like they're all having fun. Let's go check up on Cynthia, though. Yeah, Garchomp can't learn... Oh, no. Cotton Fluff, get out of the way! Oh, she fell asleep. That's brilliant. What? Cynthia, what are you doing? Wake up, Cotton Fluff! Okay, look, I realize that you're both dragons and you're both quad weak to ice, but can we not have this competition if there's room for both of you here? Just move out of the way of the poison oh, there we go, finally. Now, to cook some curry. I think a salad curry sounds pretty good. And now's when I realize that I've never actually done this outside of handheld mode. Looks like Cynthia's hungry. Okay, maybe not the best curry I've ever made, but it should get the job done. With the poison gone, now we can play a little bit. Here we go again. That's pretty sick. She doesn't seem all that interested in playing ball, however. Now, let's see if we can find somewhere with better weather. Oh my goodness, look at that. Yeah, I think you all know what my next comment's gonna be. Darn, Jellicent. Well, at least we get to see the cool intro again. Yes! That is an absolutely beautiful animation. Look at the rainbow! Okay, let's see who's faster, a land shark or a water shark. It's the water shark. Can you believe Garchomp could do this, but it can't learn fly? Okay, that's enough screwing around. There's one more thing I want to do before I call this a wrap. We just need to grab an adamant mitt, because apparently I didn't already have one. There we go. Okay, we gotta check this out in the battle tower. Oh my goodness, I love it! Well, I'm glad I gave her Brick Break back in Oris. Okay, as hilarious as this is, I am at a huge disadvantage right now. Screw it, I'm doing it. Oh my god, that is terrifying. And I've only got one move that'll work on Togekiss, so here goes nothing. It was a crit too! Oh my god! Cynthia's still clutching it even in Gen 8! We win! Oh my god, that was amazing. And so, after 6 games, 5 regions, 2 battles with Cynthia, and a bunch of technological issues that may or may not have been aggravated by Mercury retrograde, our journey has finally come to an end. This was the first time I ever did anything like this, both in terms of making a video and Pokemon itself. I spent a lot of time and effort on this project, and to think now that I actually have the Garchomp in this game that was just a fantasy at the beginning of the year, it just really goes to show what you can accomplish if you're willing to put in the effort. Now all I have to do is find some free-for-all opponents, but that's another story for another time. For now, however, I'd like to thank all of you for coming with me on this journey. It's been a lot of work, but a lot of fun, and while I can't guarantee that I'll be able to do something like this in the future, I now have the experience and a really cool Garchomp to show for it. And no, this is not the last you'll see of her. I can guarantee you that much.